A very insistent group of you guys has requested this video for quite some time. I've been asked to give you my ultimate vegan grocery list and to talk about my product essentials and kitchen must-haves. If I had my life together, then my kitchen would always be stocked like this. But yeah, truthfully, realistically, most times I have a fraction of these things on hand at a time. But I think this video can still work as a good overview, a great guideline to find out what products you might be lacking or to get inspired for what to purchase next. Now, any of my essential items, my God tier products, I will mark with a little star. As soon as I run out of them, I go to the store immediately. Quick thank you to my lovely sponsor, Squarespace. Let's get into this list. Starting out with pantry items. So for the most part, fairly cheap foods that can feed you for a while. First up, rice. I prefer short grain, so porridge or sushi rice. I eat that all the time. It gets a star. Also, noodles, rice noodles, ramen, soba, gluten-free spaghetti for some reason. Here I've got some couscous, but there's lots of other grains to choose from like quinoa. Moving on to legumes in the canned variety. You can use these as a base for tons of recipes. Add these to stews, sauces, bakes, chilies, which those meals also contain and require canned chopped tomatoes. Sometimes I like to just use pre-made pasta sauces though. Vegetable broth in either powder or cube form. It gives you tons of flavor. For instance, when using dried soy granules, I like to soak them in a little bit of vegetable broth first. Obviously, we need different oils for cooking and baking. I go through entire bottles of white wine vinegar at a concerning rate. I use it in cooking as well as baking, and sometimes I just pour it straight onto my food, which I'm not sure I would recommend to everyone. Next is salt. 1 finer salt and 1 flaky salt is all you really need. Inside my pantry, you can also find a few different boxes of different spices, which will probably last me a lifetime. These are my most used spices, I would say. Now, porridge and muesli take up a large part of my personal diet, so I've got a whole pantry box dedicated to just that. Oats, of course. Ideally, both the quick cooking and the old-fashioned kind. Store-bought granola, although I like to make my own sometimes too. Seeds and nuts are essential. Having a bit of variety here is nice because different seeds have different functions, like chia and flax seeds you can use to make breakfast puddings with, but then roasted sesame seeds are just delicious and give you a little bit of crunch. You probably already know that I put these on everything from sweet to savory meals. I think they are my main source of protein at this point. And then to round up this muesli segment, dried fruit is nice to have as well. Nut butters, I adore. Ideally the ones that only have nuts and salt listed as the ingredients. Okay, I did also include Biscoff spread and this Nutella type spread. No nutrients to be found in these, but they are delicious and I would not want to live without them. I don't have a strong opinion regarding protein powder. It just has to taste good to me. So I'm not sure if I use it for the protein specifically, but sometimes it's fun to use in different baking and breakfast recipes. Is it essential? I don't think so. It's also quite expensive. Non-dairy milk. I usually get the barista kind for coffee, and then the regular oat milk I like to use in baking or to put in porridge and cereal, because the barista one can be quite intense. Syrup I love using in cooking can be agave, maple, date, rice, coconut syrup, and then obviously when it comes to desserts, syrup is a staple. Which brings me to my baking cart. I've got multiple of those actually. I don't know if that's interesting to you if you're not an avid baker, but we got the basics here: flour, sugar, cacao, baking powder. I've got cornstarch in here as well, which I would deem essential to even people that don't bake, because I mostly use it in cooking actually to thicken up sauces, and then also to make my crispy go-to tofu. Cinnamon, it's a spice. I just wanted to highlight it. I use it all year round, not just in fall and winter. Now, applesauce is my preferred egg replacement when it comes to cake, especially. It's essential in my pancake recipe. I just love that it's quite neutral in flavor compared to mashed banana, for example. I also own quite a lot of different decorative baking products. In my pantry, I've got a lot more than I'm showing here, but you get the idea. Moving on to things that need to be refrigerated. Soy yogurt. Plain or vanilla. I do prefer the ones that are similar to Greek yogurt in texture though. Hummus is wonderful, not just on its own, but I like to use it in dressings and sauces. Tofu, I just did a whole video on tofu. Love it with all my heart. Soy sauce. We love soy sauce. Chinese chili crisp oil, which I am a little bit addicted to. Sriracha or sriracha mayo is another fun topping. Ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise you can do a lot with. For example, I use vegan mayonnaise in my gochujang vegan tuna. Miso paste, super versatile. This vegan sour cream alternative, I like to use it not just for the flavor, but mainly for food styling purposes because it holds its shape really nicely when trying to photograph food. Vegan butter, of course. My favorite thing to eat lately has been toasted bread with butter and salt. Both my life and my spice tolerance have significantly improved ever since I started using gochujang. It's sweet and spicy. We made it quite far into the video without me bringing up a single vegetable, so here it goes. I think I have to get better at eating my vegetables. Apart from spinach, which I love and adore. I add it to everything. Also fresh herbs. I love cilantro and basil the most, but for some reason I bought mint that day, which I don't typically add mint to my savory meals, so I'm really just using this for tea. Here's some fruit. We've got apples and bananas, which I don't keep the bananas in the fridge typically, and lemon to use for both their juice and their zest. I heard you're supposed to keep your coffee beans in the fridge as well. Is that true? Is that a myth? I mean, it's what I've been doing for the longest time, but you guys let me know. Here I'm making a little iced coffee drink, adding some lemon zest as well, which strangely works so well together, I'm telling you. Moving on to things that I keep atop my fridge. My current tea rotation: potatoes, ginger, onion, and garlic, of course, and then also supplements, vitamins. Also outside the fridge, I usually keep fresh bread and tortillas. To prevent both from becoming stale, I at some point store these in the freezer. Speaking of, let's have a look in my freezer for a second. There's frozen berries. As for frozen vegetables, I could only find random pre-chopped onions, frozen bread that I cut into slices. Sometimes I will have frozen pancakes in there as well, but today my freezer was very empty and sad. There was just ice cubes, plus all the extra ice that has sort of overtaken my top freezer shelf. Last but not least, here are some honorable mentions. Products like these are definitely not essential. It's more like a hobby to me that I like to indulge in every once in a while, you know, to see what's out there. For example, we've got these vegan tortellini, and I had to try those immediately. Vegan kimchi is an honorable mention as well, I would say, because I don't crave it all the time, but it's nice to have and it can boost the flavor of so many of your dishes. Same goes for nori sheets, which aren't just great for making sushi, but again, use it to enhance your soups, broths, bowls. It gives everything a slight seaside type flavor. Rice paper is a super fun and versatile ingredient. Use it to make rice cakes, sama rolls, even desserts can be made with this. Coconut milk or a similar unsweetened oat or soy cream is really nice for adding richness to your dishes. Wine or any similar alcohol is amazing to cook with. Kala namak or black salt gives your food a super realistic egg flavor. And nutritional yeast can add savoriness. A lot of people say it tastes like cheese. I have to say I disagree. I feel like it tastes like its own thing, but I also haven't cooked with it in a while. Olives. I am neither an olive lover nor an olive hater. I feel like I just go through different phases where I really like them, and then other times I think they're just plain evil. Maybe it's a hormonal thing, or maybe it really just depends on the product, because these ones are really good actually. They're grilled. Also, I'm such a sucker for tiny, overpriced granola bars or protein oat energy bars and bites. This one is Franzbrötchen / cinnamon roll flavored, and it's covered in vegan white chocolate. Yeah, that's insane. That is it for my very lengthy shopping list. Again, I want to emphasize that you do not need all these products all at once. Yeah, let me know what your essential products are in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and being here. I will leave you with a word from Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform helping you to build, develop, and grow your online brand and business. Start by browsing through their many different, beautifully designed website templates. Choose one and tailor it to your liking. You can create your own logo within Squarespace as well. Also, Squarespace makes it super easy for you to sell bonus hidden content, such as courses, memberships, videos, podcasts, etc. Simply decide whether you want to charge a one-time fee or a subscription. And if you need any help along the way, don't hesitate to reach out to their 24/7 award-winning customer service. Start today. Visit squarespace.com/MinaRome and use the code MinaRome to get 10% off your first website or domain. Bye!